Do you know what? I can't lie. You are the first guest that's actually rattled me.
I'm so sorry.
You like.
It was actually a combination because I wouldn't have had that material to work with.
Hey, don't bring
I'm saying that.
Thanks, Ope, for that.
You're
and you
very
came
welcome.
at. I'm so happy because God knew that I would be rattled, and so I wrote notes to bring me back to what we're meant to be talking about. Because everyone know I've never been brought out the laptop.
I'm sorry.
I had it memorized, but well, guys, I am joined by a guest, my friend Ekay. Wait, do you just go? Would you go by
Yeah, I guess that's my stage name.
stage name? Is that most of your socials?
Yeah, so my socials are like EK. But my name's Emmanuel.
Sure. So my first question was like, how do we define what you do? Because I first met you as a spoken word artist, and he's really good, guys. As in,
Thank you.
like because do you know what? Apparently, you told me that I was bantering you at the
Yeah, the conference.
I don't remember. That doesn't sound like my character.
There's a lot of things that haven't sounded like your character today. I'm so sorry. So I heard that, but now I hear what you're saying though. That's true. It was yeah.
Sure thing.
How are you?
Do you know what? I'm good.
We started, didn't it?
No, we started.
Okay, yeah.
We've been in. No, I'm good. Oh my
Yeah.
days, you're the first person to ask me how I am. I appreciate you for that. I'm good. I'm very much. No, I'm good. I'm very happy. I feel like today's been my favourite day of filming, just because like it's been vibes from pretty much the onset. I think David can like agree. So this is really what I wanted it to be like. We're all here, we're all chilling, we're all talking, just vibing. Like I like the fact that people are meeting people again, or they're like seeing people that they wouldn't normally cross paths with. I feel like that's such a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So I'm so happy. Like, sure thing. So basically, for you that don't know, we live in the house, or we're working from a house, so you might hear background noises. We just moved. So yeah, how would you define yourself as, because I know you as a spoken word artist, but then you released a project, and to me it very much felt, you accurately described it as letters, so it still felt like you as a spoken word artist, but to music. But then does that classify as rap? Does that classify as just spoken word still? Like, how would you define it?
Yeah. It's interesting because like the kind of spectrum of like rap and poetry, people like side across it so much, and like there's so many different interpretations of what poetry is, of what spoken word is, and what rap is, and often, especially in our generation, we blur a lot of the lines. So I don't want to cop out and be like it's whatever people want it to be, because I think I definitely had in mind that replay value, you don't always get that from spoken word. You might listen to it once and it's like rah.
I hear that.
And you just kind of move it on, or you're not always trying to wheel up a poem. You know what I mean? Necessarily. You might go to it when you have a certain feeling or situation. So I think for me, there's parts of the project that are very much just spoken word, and there's like music overlaid to it, but it feels very like comfortable for me. But I like so many different types of music.
Okay. What's your favourite genre?
At the moment,
Yeah.
drill.
Lit.
Yeah.
I'm recently trying to get into it.
Trying.
Yeah, I'm trying, because sometimes I listen to it and I feel like, am I being me? Like, am I forcing this, or because I really enjoy it?
Right.
But I feel like, with the type of person that I think people look at me as, it's just like, what are you doing here?
So you feel like drill's inconsistent with your character?
Yeah, a bit. But then part of me just like, at home it makes sense. But if I tell people that, in my spare time, one of my favourite things to watch on YouTube is just like reaction videos to like music. People, they'll look at me like, really? That's what you're... I love it.
Yeah.
Like, they had a drill cypher, like 2020 cypher.
I saw that as well.
What?
Millions was going, yeah, different. Yeah. But you know what it is? That's the idea, like, of of like how you're perceived and people projecting certain expectations onto you and feeling like you have to live up to them. It's something that I feel like I've battled with for a while. Like the idea of is this off brand for me? Like this is kind of off brand, so man can't really. And you know, I'm not gonna lie. Before this interview, if there was like a topic I didn't want to talk about, I'm like, that's a bit off brand. It means that this is the life I live, but I don't know if the world is ready for like the life that I live just yet. Or and I think like I've had that kind of
what.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had that feeling even into my project, and like with stuff like if my Spotify, my most listened to artist was like Heady One. Yeah, people would never. A lot of people are like, why would you do that? You're a poet, aren't you super deep? Like, you know, drills like. I'm just like, your character can be very multifaceted, and you can have different. And I think you kind of limit your experience and how you navigate life and how you can if you're always pandering to what you think people expect
you to be.
And I think that's kind of how I felt with the project, and because my comfort zone is very much one or two of the tracks in the EP, but some of the other ones are definitely out of my comfort zone.
Which ones would you say they were? I want to give them another listen.
That I'm not necessarily even comfort zone in terms of I'm not used to them. And comfort zone in terms of I might even be as good yet on those kind of. So I've got like an open letter, and that's got a trap beat on it, and my boy Coda produced it, and with Noel. But
big up them, man.
But the truth is, maybe I would have wanted to like have cadence that's more familiar to rap, but I didn't feel comfortable enough to do it on the project, and I kind of wish I did. But part of me was like, I don't know if people expect that from me. The same, I don't know if people expect me to like drill as my. It goes drill then like R&B, so I'd say like Heady One and Jasmine Sullivan, but I can have I can have both at the same time.
That's actually great.
It's bare random. Yeah, because that album hits different, boy. It hits so different.
Boy.
Like,
but I feel like, do you know what? It's actually jokes because I've come on to my Spotify. This is not pre-planned. Right. But your stuff is there.
Oh, right.
Look, it is.
You prepared for this interview? You're a serious interviewer.
I am. I tried. Also, guess what's there? The Playback Podcast. It's there.
Oh, do you man have your own podcast? You have your own podcast? I did not know that.
It's separate from the... But I do it with like some people in the magazine.
I love that. You're serious, boy. That's why there's gold on his hat, bro. Yeah,
no.
This is your interview. Don't bring me into
No, but like, so what? The first artist there is Abra. Because he's so good.
He is.
What? No, sorry, I won't play it out loud. But I don't want to get the track that I love wrong.
Is it On Deck or is it Spin This Coupe?
Spin This Coupe. Yeah. He goes to Super Saiyan mode.
When he starts shouting. Yeah.
I feel it in my brain. Like that. I truly can't wait for Motive to come and that comes on. Yeah. Because I can punch someone. I can't.
You know what? 2020 was really average year, and I just feel so sad we couldn't like celebrate with him. Do you know what I mean?
Because I love the way that he released his music, because he'll release it and at the end he'll show the preview of the next one, and another one. Yeah. This was his DJ Khaled moment, and each of them was just like, this is so sick. Like I'm genuinely excited for what he has to offer, because what was his earlier song where we first I'm trying to think.
Robbery.
Yeah, like I liked his style from back then, but I genuinely thought, no offense to him because you proved me wrong, that it was a one-hit wonder type thing, but I was dead wrong. Yeah. And like seeing the little clips that I've seen, like because Instagram and stuff, seeing him singing, I'm thinking, what? I know you have talent. I didn't know before, but now I know you have talent, and you're really showing it to me. So big up him, man.
Honestly, I feel like I'm learning so much from our people at this point in history. Like just like when I think about if you take Abra and just first of all the idea of consistency, but also what happens when you feel comfortable enough to just explore as like an artist and just kind of own it. But like there's so many people you take Abra, you take like Dave for example, and like I don't know if you've seen like the Money Talks video. Yeah. But yeah, like that video is so excellently directed. Like,
so good.
But it's crazy to think that's the kind of the video that you'd see old white men with degrees studying. You know, how did he do that? How did he do this? But it was done by a brother from the ends, and often
that's what I love.
Yeah, just the idea of owning your creativity and running with it is something that I feel like
I feel like Dave is lucky because he has now built himself up to the point where he's free to do that sort of thing, and it's like conceptually it's like, oh yeah, it makes sense because it's Dave. But if like I saw it from, I don't know, Diggity, that's an artist, right?
Yeah.
It is, because I get him mixed up with Dig Dat, but we've learned. Well done, guys, you've taught me. But it's like if I saw it from him, I think I might question it a bit. I'll be like, or I wouldn't question it, but I think I'll rate it. I'll be like, rah, you thought of this. I'm not sure if I would associate that with the type of music he makes.
Yeah, but that's the
I
thing,
shouldn't give a heck.
You
like,
should,
I should just allow him to explore that. I feel like that's why a lot of artists, they don't like to claim their genre because they want that freedom. And if they stick to like a particular genre, it feels like they're like not inhibited. That's science.
Yeah, that's the right word.
Inhibited, like they're limited to what that genre is allowed to do visually.
But it all goes back to the whole, when like expectations are projected onto you, you feel like you have to only operate within a particular space. And Digga D's mad like creative. Some of the videos he's done, like when he dropped this whatever, like off Chingy, like that's the idea of taking Chingy and the Chingy who made a song called Right There, and then it was very clever. And then even just down to like like the different like the backdrop he like was operating within, like the place he booked, the outfits. It was all really, it all kind of shows what happened when you kind of know what's expected within a genre from you. Maybe you play the game for a bit and you kind of work your way within it, but then you still trust that you don't have to. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I think, and I feel like we can't remember. I think we've veered off your question a lot, but I just definitely think I'm.
Go back to the
question.
question.
I'm meant to rope them back in. But,
I'm here for vibes.
Cool.
Where we go is where we go, and that's where we land. And until I remember, I'll look at the question one time.
I definitely think there's just an act right now. Just I moved the project. It was kind of, there's certain things I didn't think I felt super comfortable to do, and I definitely look back and I wish I like was. But then there's also parts in which I think I was just like, bun it. Let me just.
And I feel like the good thing is there's always another project. There's always another time for you to feel that way. It's so funny because I dislike Corona. I dislike lockdowns.
Right.
But I have to thank it because in this time I've realised that, okay, cool. I've had to sit down with myself and I've actually had to look, okay, this is my character. This is what I'm pretty sure people would assume of my character. Because I'm bare weird. And I'm quite unique.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
And I dislike you.
I'm sorry. I like you. No.
Oh, thank you. But it's like I've realised that I'm actually quite a weird person, but I don't show that to people that are not in my immediate circles because I feel like I'm meant to be seen as a certain type of way. I'm meant to be seen as a certain type of way, whether that's because of social media or the way I act when I'm out and about. But it's a bit tiring not being true to yourself, and I feel like it's like just own yourself and be authentic about it. And sometimes you do what you want to do, whether it's creatively, and it might not sit well with the people watching, but if you feel that that's true to you at that time and it doesn't affect anyone else and it doesn't hurt anyone else and all of that sort of stuff, just do it. Because right now I feel like we're in a golden time where we don't have the spotlights on us, so we can afford to try out whether we want to jump on the rap type beat, and it doesn't, like, we don't have the eyes like, that's not what you're for, and like there's a golden time in just being in our obscurity, that people aren't looking at us, people are not expecting the world and back, they're not expecting what we've done before. Like, we're just, I feel like right now the maximum people are expecting is just come back again. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've dropped this out, I'm not expecting you, but I would really love for you to drop something else. I would love to hear another spoken word from you. I like to, we're at that time where the people that are watching you, people that are riding for you, bar a couple of waste men, they actually just want you to do more, to do better. And it's lit, man. It's a beautiful time.
No, it definitely is.
Okay, let's look. Which one do I want to... Yeah, I feel like I like this question. What's your goals artistically? What's your...
Artistic goals? Do you want, like... an answer that's meant to be deep, or do you want do you want a deep answer? Do you want this like
flow from your
flow
heart?
from it?
Yeah, just
So,
whatever.
Okay. The truth is, I don't know if I've set like artistic goals. And it's not that I don't think there's something special about not. I think you probably should know what you want to do. And I just
give and take.
Yeah, I guess give and take. I think to get something going is so difficult sometimes. Like even just to get the project over the line, you clock that there's like, and I had like a great like team with me. Starting from like my boy Koda, but he like runs this record label called like Undeniable Records, and he's got a film thing. But like,
how old
as an artist,
how old is he, and how did you meet him?
I think he's like 29. So I was on one of my friend's podcasts, and he was like, he had set up a studio for us to use it. But then I had come back maybe once to record something off of the EP, and then like we were just like going back and forth, and like the energy just right. And he was like, he's never like executive produced anything. Like he's really careful with his time. It was like he really wants to work on this because he thinks it can go into a space that hasn't really been like tapped into yet. And he's like, him and like his team, like Leon, like Quiva, there's like loads of people, Tion, I'm just saying everyone's name, you want to say every name, KB.
No, do it,
my mum, like just everything is just like
shout out everyone.
Anyway, so it was just to even put, as an artist, I've got the poem and I think that's it. That's not even it. Like now you've got to like find someone to record it. Now you've got to find someone to like mix and master. Now you got to make sure, you got to find someone to mix and master. Okay, cool. Who's your distributor gonna be? What's your like campaign gonna be?
Oh my God.
What's your artwork gonna be like? Is it gonna be consistent with? And I'm just like, bro, man, just wanted to write this thing here, and then that was it. And it came to a point where it was just like, I just want to get this over the line. And like Noel and Koda, who basically are the ones that produced the EP, they're very good at being perfectionists. So they were like, nope, this needs to be done like this, or you don't sound believable here, or you need to go back and do this.
That's so good.
You need like a team around you. You need people around that can do, because I don't have that kind of attention to detail. And I think as an artist, you've put something up, but you can't really be bothered to see it all the way through. So back to goals. I just wanted to get out at that point. I was like, I just want it out. I don't really care how it comes out. And they kind of kept me in check. So taking it step by step, but now it's kind of out. I think the goal is, again, nothing massive. Let me just take the next step, almost. And I think I would love to become a bit more consistent as an artist, in a sense that there's so much content that I've maybe sat on, and I have these kind of famine and feast moments where it's like I'll put a lot out and then I just want to disappear. I'm a lot like more introverted than I think people would know. So it took so much effort. Like my team had to tell me, post at this time, do this, because I wouldn't have done it. Like, when it was all out, I just when the last time I posted on Instagram? It's been like 2-3 months, and I've recorded all this. I've recorded stuff for like the rest of the campaign, and I haven't like. So I think my next goal is to it's to focus not on like the outcome and like putting stuff up, but more on just becoming the artist who produces and who creates. Trying to focus more on like an identity based kind of habit of just, I am the kind of person who writes and puts out. I am the kind of person who, so it flows from me. It's not like I need to achieve this by then. Because then when you've done it, like that's it. I had that goal, let me get the EP out. That was like an external goal. Had that, I achieved it. I didn't do anything else after that. But if it was who I was, if it's who I am to create,
it will just flow.
So I think I'm trying to like just get myself to a way, whether that's like confidence, consistency, having the right system in place to do so, and that including like my team.
I think that takes time though.
I think
because you need to cultivate a character change. If that makes sense. Because I'm exactly the same. Like, especially, I'm so grateful that I'm not I'm not editing this. I am.
Yeah, no,
I am.
I heard that.
I am. I won't. No, because like, of course, if you wasn't amazing at what you do, I would have to. But I would sit on this footage, and I probably sit on it for 2 years, even though I've like invested time, just because like this is the lit part for me. Like, of course I want everyone else to experience it, but like this, if I went home.
So you got apple juice, or was that iced tea? Sorry.
Iced tea. I got Lipton iced tea today. But it's like, this is lit for me. And I think like if I didn't have someone to help me edit with it, I don't know when I would have the finished product. So I don't even know when I would release it. And then by that time, I might have shifted and I'll be like, oh, this isn't as good as I want it to be. I've got new money now. Let me restart. Let me do this. Let me do that. So no, I definitely hear what you're saying. So, like I do that often, and I realise I'm like, bruh, unless you're forced to see something through.
Yeah.
I just don't.
And it's almost just like your shift is probably gonna be around. Oh, let me not finish this series. It can't be just that, because once you've done that, it needs to be like I'm a presenter.
Yeah.
I'm someone who does this. This
This
is who
is
I
the
am.
thing
Like,
now.
this is not for something to be out now. This is part of who I am. So once you have started filming stuff, it's not the end. Like that's why I think goals in some way you need them for direction, but can limit, because it implies that there's an end to something. Like once you've got it, and it's kind of like
Word.
wow, we were then. Fam.
I'm sorry if my words actually stopped you in your tracks.
Yeah,
I'll stop doing it. No, but that's so good.
You know what I mean? And I think I'm trying to shift from that. But it is lockdown, it's a pandemic. Things are a bit more difficult. So let's take all them into account. But I feel like even with you, my bro, like I wonder how much stuff have you done that's you, and how much stuff have you actually needed accountability and like a team for, and the people around you, and it's just people look and see, but they don't actually know you need like the proper systems in place.
So, because I spoke to literally when I was talking to Oppen, because that was something I was very intrigued about, like finding teams. Were you a type of person that you seen someone and like sort of found them, curated them, or was it just like we just so happened to be in the right place at the right time, sort of on the same similar journeys, and we've connected?
The latter. So yeah, definitely. And I think there's that quote about like opportunity meeting like being prepared or something like that. And I think if you didn't have the ideas like to do this, then it wouldn't even matter if you had the people, because you know what I mean, you would have to have like the idea somewhere for someone to meet you in the middle. And I think the same thing happened with like how I met like Noel, who basically composed most of like the music on the EP. I met him somewhere, but he had heard I was a poet. He had his kind of skill. We came together. Same with Koda. Like he wouldn't have recorded my stuff if I didn't have anything to record with. And I think like you might even meet people that you could work with, but if you don't have any material, then like those people kind of slip by.
That's like a shout for people just to get stuff out there, like to get whatever you have in your mind. It might not be the finished product, because I feel like some people are the perfectionist type, that they want it to be sick. Like their heart's desire is for when they release something, it needs to be the same quality as the people that produce for TV or something. But it's like, you don't have TV money. You won't have TV money for a long time. You might get TV money only by doing what you've started without TV money. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's definitely just a shout, just to like get it out there. And you don't know what opportunities will come from you doing it. Like the fact that I had like my actual job now, it doesn't make, every time I think about it, it just does not make sense, because I don't think I'm that equipped for it, if that makes sense. But like, oh yeah, I started a blog and I started a YouTube channel. That's all they really cared about. And I was like, okay, because I started a blog and I wanted it to look better. Don't look at it now because it looks a shambles. No, it does. I haven't done my TLC for a long time. I'm sorry, blog. But like, I learned how to, I didn't like the colour of this, but for me to change the colour, I had to learn how to code a bit. So all of those little skills, and I told them about it. Of course, I have glorified it, but like, they're skills that I am using now in my job, and they're like, okay, you're proactive in doing that. Yeah. So no one should overlook how small it is. You know what I mean? Yeah, that proactivity is key, man. Like 100%. No, I like talking to you, and I need to look at the time, because you're actually, I feel like you're a different vibe from everyone else, if that makes sense. You're very just cool. Sometimes people use vibes interchangeably. What are you trying to say? Is that a good thing? Like? No, that's a great thing. Because I'm sorry, I don't know. Okay, 10 minutes left. Eek. No, it's a good thing, because like I feel very calm. We've keyed, you've bantered me, but this is very much like I'm enjoying this. Okay. I'm enjoying it too. Because we haven't spoken in a while properly. We haven't. Yeah. It's been and the last time we spoke, it was by happenstance. I think when we met in like Greg's. Yeah, Greg's. Yeah. So I was on my way to church. That's such Such a British. Oh yeah.
It is.
I'm on my way to church and I'm early. Why am I early? I don't know. And especially back then, I wasn't.
Was
a
this for the
punctual
drama
person.
play you in?
Potentially, could have been
I
drama.
think it might have.
Probably, it makes sense
Yeah.
actually.
Or you might have been coming from there going somewhere.
No,
don't
because
know.
I think I was going to church.
Okay,
Because
cool.
going to church.
Okay.
And I see you and I'm just like, friend, what are you doing in this area? And he was like, what am I doing here? And that's the most logical question.
Right.
But, and then I was just like, oh yeah, I'm going Greg because I'm hungry. I've got time before church. And he was like, yeah, let's sit down. And we had such a nice chat. Just catching up. Great times, man. I don't know why I'm talking about it, but I thought everyone should know. That's how.
Love
And
it.
I feel like that's how I was just like, oh yeah, cool. You're more than just a random person at a church event or at a conference or whatever that I banter at a table, see that you're really good at spoken word and never see you again. Do you know what I mean? Good things.
Very.
Okay, I wanted to ask, what's your definition of successful? As in for you, not like, oh yeah, successful, the Oxford Dictionary.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Like for you in your artistry, in your.
I think maybe for me, it's like. I think success for me is like maybe one feeling like I've like I feel empty, so I've like at least it's out there. You know what
So
I mean?
you've
That
poured
idea.
out enough.
Yeah, just the idea of everything that I wanted to like you know. Just feel like she's empty in something.
I have empty in one bin bag or something.
But yeah, feel like empty of my ideas. Like so, I think when I put like my EP, I felt empty. Or when I perform and I really put my heart into it, I feel like empty. So I think I always try to like when I'm write or create, I'm trying to do it for myself first and then other people second. So I don't get into my head about how other people think my success is going. So I think that's what I would say first. But also just like impact, I think. So with the EP, I knew for example, unless you have a viral kind of video, most people don't blow it overnight. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna
100.
put something out, but then I know in 5 years' time, someone can go back to that and look and be like, okay, EK, that makes sense. That's where your story started. It stands the test of time, and I think
That's beautiful.
for me, I'll know that I'm successful if someone can listen to something of some of my art and feel like it resonates with them. And it sounds a bit like a flowery, but that's what it genuinely means.
I don't
to
think
me.
it does. I feel like a lot of people, some people will really resonate with that. It's like, it's not really about the fame, it's not really about the clout, it's not really about that, but it's just like, rah, if what I can do can evoke a feeling in someone else, if it can resonate to a point in time with someone else, if it can help them out of a situation or to just help them feel seen.
Yeah, you know what? That's something I've kept with me, you know. Just the idea that. So again, I'm using spoken word because I'm like a spoken word artist. But let's say, for example, I'm up and like I don't know, my friend Nigo, Storm's there, 4 different poets, and I'm like, I feel like they're better poets than me. First of all, like you don't say that. 'Cause then maybe not. But like, secondly, let's say for example, Storm, her poem's gonna resonate with like 40% of people, and then Nigo's is gonna resonate with another 40%. There's something about the way I deliver, my subject matter, the fact that I'm a black male, that's gonna resonate with a 20%. That if I choose to not speak because I feel like other people are like better or have something to contribute, they're not gonna express. Yeah, do you know what I mean? And I think I've really come to understand there's something about your art, the way you're positioned, everything down to, like I said, your age, the way you say stuff, where you post, your friends who are going to see it. That means that your art's going to meet somebody where no one else's art can, and then it always makes your stuff relevant. So even if like you want to put videos out and you're thinking, who else is going to see? Wow.
No, because you're actually like of course you speak well, but you're speaking truth as well.
Yeah, no, I honestly feel it, man. Like, so you've got like different magazine competitors, but there's something about the way you put your stuff out that's gonna hit people in a way that no one else's can. And it's like if you say, oh, mine's not gonna pop as much or not right now, or then you're literally robbing people of an opportunity to potentially have something that meets them differently. And I think for me that feels that's never going to change, and I think that's why that's what when I need to get up and keep on working, I kind of think about that. So I think that's kind of what would be success for me, just making sure I feel like empty of myself first, like, with my art and ideas, but then also knowing that I'm creating art that resonates.
And I feel with like, luckily with the arts, yeah, you know how you're just like 40, 20, but that's not the way it works, because your work can overlap with someone else's, but the sound of it or the feel or the time, like the person who hears it now when it first releases and someone that finds it 5 years from now, it overlaps. So it's not like, oh yeah, that artist has 40% of the market, that artist has 40%. You can still have 40% as well.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it's not the same like 100%. That's the max.
Yeah. No, that's a good point. That's a really good point. Just over time and yeah. No, I hear that.
No, this.
The apple juice is the apple juice.
Wait, how did you start? That was a question that I forgot. How did you get into spoken word? Because you're a young black boy from Ends.
Right, and that's why you have to point at me like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you're a young black boy from Ends, but it's just like, was it an English teacher? How did you get into it? Because I don't think that I know a lot of young black boy from Ends that.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
It definitely wasn't an English teacher. But I think me and my friend Deji, right? We just used to like so I'm from Peckham. We live in he moved, but we lived in Yellowbrick, and after like events, wow, man's side was heavy, you know.
Bro, I heard it through the.
Your life must have been. Is that what
stories about Yellowbrick.
Wow, in particular, like Yellowbrick in particular.
Yeah.
No, I heard that through the mic. I said, huh?
Sorry.
In his feet, looking at me like, poor you. Like, to be honest, there's probably some like traumatic experiences that just haven't like unpacked yet. I will probably hit me when I'm like 47 and just need to deal with them. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, when I saw that, well, that's life, innit? But we used to just love like we went to this youth group and we just used to love like after we'd just be thinking who can think of the like most clever wordplay, so we'd just be here trying to like. I remember I had one. I was like 4, maybe I was like 12, and let me see if I remember it. Like, they say life's as easy as ABC, so why do we see these G's acting BAD? They want to MC on MTV, but actually F's not A's or B. Something mad like that. But I was so gassed because I was like, oh, like alphabet and that. Like, no one. How did that come? And I think I just like the idea of using words, and speeches seemed a bit too boring. Sometimes messages got lost in rap, and spoken words seemed like a nice in between. So that's kind of why I kind of gravitated towards it. And of course, there's like a stigma. No one rates rappers until they blow in it. So it was like, this like you're a rapper, like you know, and your gender as well. You're very good at.
My gender.
They're very good at. Oh, does he rap? Like,
maybe from your end.
Yeah. We're doing that.
Sorry. Are we professional?
But just that I think I was definitely afraid of just being. I don't necessarily. I think I prefer. I always prefer spoken word, but it's
I actually get what you mean though, about the girls and stuff.
Yeah, I was joking.
No, but I sort of get.
Even because you know there are men that would be like, right, you rap, yeah, mad. Yeah, so. It works both ways, but I think for me, I'd probably care about more that's the other gender. I don't want to be telling people I'm a rapper and just haven't blown yet, because you know rapping's it seems more. Yeah, everyone's a rapper in it. Every black boy has raps in their notes, so it just seems a bit like unserious sometimes. Which is I don't agree with. Because I got raps on my phone, but I think I definitely think I enjoyed spoken word because it seemed like it met that medium quite well.
So sorry. Do you know what's so funny? So you said that, and then one of the things I was gonna actually ask you, and this is such a great link, because one of the letters was to your future wife, and one of the things I heard from your podcast was just like, I think your podcast you were talking about, you've never written a poem to a girl.
Wow, the receipts are coming out.
Were you you honest in that podcast? You've never written a, never ever.
That's not what I said.
Yo,
What
the
did
mic,
you
should I bring it closer? It's an experience, bro. The camera.
That's what I'm doing. I'm remembering this from everybody, by the way.
You don't have to say you don't want
Nah, I definitely have. I think I said.
That one. You know the girl will be in the comments, bruv, don't act like you don't.
Don't act like you don't remember. Nah, I definitely have.
Oh, but you wouldn't perform it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I've never performed. Like, I've never like read something out to someone.
Fairs.
But I definitely have written songs.
Have you ever performed?
So we just like hold that.
Just like it.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm not really talking
Nah,
about
yeah.
what's that? Have I ever?
Like performed like
Is this a safe space? I don't really know what's going on. I feel a bit ambushed.
This is a
Is it
very
mine?
Just what are you doing for Valentine's Day today?
I'm here with you guys, and then I'm literally going home to probably just watch TV.
Yeah, no, same. So that's why I really think like, when you're just writing as an artist, you need to just make sure your heart's in it.
Sorry.
Sure thing. Did you know in my head? I don't know how we got.
It's crazy.
Amen. A word.
One Jedi mind trick.
You know what I mean? Like,
Do you know? I can't wait to like see this back because they will truly see my confusion and how that linked. Okay, sure thing. But, oh no, our time is up, guys. 40 minutes is done. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
You were actually like you said such good things, very insightful things, like things that I've resonated with, and I know people listening, if they do hear it and click on this video, they will really learn from it. So thank you so much. Thank you all guys for your inputs and stuff. You're amazing. We out, baby. Wait.
oh my god, she remembered without me telling her. It's like,